Aloha, eiko mai. My name is Chase K. Maxwell, and I have a passion for all things history. In this series, we'll discover the true history of the Hawaiian Islands, learn some useful words and phrases, and, well, delve into our rich island history. Ohele mai kakao. Let's go! No, you are. You are. Okay. Oh. In the last episode, we talked about David Kalakaua up until the point that he became the King of Hawai'i. As one of his first acts as king, David Kalakaua signs a reciprocity treaty, basically a free trade agreement between the United States and Hawaii. Now, some are not happy, but he wants for Hawaii to play on the world stage. In going to sign the treaty, he is the first Hawaiian monarch to visit the U.S. and the first to have a state dinner at the White House. The host is President Grant. Because he's done some traveling and sees what the world has to offer other monarchs, Kalakaua ultimately decides that he wants a grand palace, a crown, and all the trappings of royalty. This culminates in Iolani Palace being built in 1879. The old palace was a little smaller and less regal of a building. Iolani Palace would be magnificent and have only the finest. We'll talk more about the palace in future episodes, so stay tuned. Remember the unrest and riots that took place after Kalakaua was elected king? Well, it's hard to hold festivities while you're dodging bullets, so they decided to hold the coronation 4 years later, coinciding with the opening of Iolani Palace. In 1883, a 2-week celebration is organized by the Freemasons, of which the king is a proud member. The palace is decked out, and an octagonal bandstand is built for the festivities. They also laid the building's cornerstone, and inside was a copper time capsule. Following the official ceremony, the crowd moves across the street to Ali'iolani Hale, where the statue of Kamehameha is unveiled. Although the original statue was lost at sea coming from the Marianas, what stands today is the second statue created. The one that fell into the drink was recovered and now sits in Kohala, Hawaii, Kamehameha's birthplace. Some people claim that Kalakaua was too Hawaiian. Take a guess who those people were. And others claim that he was giving in to the white man. It's kind of a love-hate situation. You see, Kalakaua befriends the missionaries and folks from the U.S. that had arrived, and well, they kind of turned on him. Who could have guessed? What does the following have to do with opium, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. The king is accused of taking a bribe from a prominent Chinese businessman, Tong Ki, to receive exclusive rights to vending and distributing the Chinese molasses, the opium, the antiema. You see, people at the time were using opium for toothaches, bruises, coughs, and diarrhea. They'd also take a little hit before work, because why not? And even give it to babies to quiet them down. Yeesh! Remember that I said that they turned on him? Well, the trustees that he trusted and befriended seized all of the crown lands that were basically the king's. Then, just to make sure that they got their point across, they had him sign over power at gunpoint. In history, it's called the Bayonet Revolution. It was carried out by these churdballs, the Committee of Safety, because, they care about your safety. Bullshit. Oh, and because they were so concerned for the safety of the Hawaiian people, America sent in the U.S. Marines, because nothing says we care like armed militia. And just in case you doubted these douches hadn't been evil enough, they set about creating a negative narrative in social circles and with local and mainland media about the king. So they talk stink about him. Defamation, talking smack. Sound familiar? Some things never change. But wait, there's more. They take his land and power and then create a new constitution that took away the voting rights of anyone who was not male, white, European, or Hawaiian. And of course, there's a catch. Those Hawaiian men had to be over 21 years of age, literate, and owe no back taxes. And you're asking, hey Chase, how could there possibly be more? Well, add to that the voter had to have $3,000 in property ownership and have had at least a $600 a month salary. Now they allow Kalakaua to remain king, but make it so that every decision has to be approved by them. You know, the same guys that he graciously allowed to grow sugar and pineapple on a lot of Hawaii's land. In 1890, David Kalakaua and his entourage traveled to California for some much-deserved rest and relaxation at the Palace Hotel in San Francisco. Against his doctor's orders, he goes to a dinner at the Shriners Club. He returns to his room an hour later and he slips into a coma. 2 days later, on January 20th, 1891, he passes away at the hotel from Bright's disease, which is an inflammation of the liver. It takes 9 days for the news to travel to the Hawaiian Islands, literally by slow boat, and his sister Liliuokalani ascends to the throne. More on that in a later episode. The loss of Hawaii's beloved king still is felt today. He left a lasting legacy that continues to this day. And listen, if you have an idea for a future episode, please leave it in the comments below. We'd love to hear for you. For you? Really? Now before we go, it's time for the word of the day.
The phrase of the day is e como mai.
Have you ever heard the phrase e como mai? If you've been to the islands, you might have seen it or heard it at the airport or at a cruise terminal. It's how we say welcome, and it literally translates to you come in here, or to put it another way, make yourself at home. Truly the spirit of aloha. Now, we'd appreciate you gently caressing and lightly stroking the like, subscribe, and notification buttons so that you never miss another episode. We upload new adventures every Monday. Remember that the aloha spirit is alive and well, and we all really need to be kind to one another. Now, today's sponsor is the Like Like Drive-In, famous for their Saimin and Loco Moco.
Oh, brother, no.
Oh, come on. It feels like I was just there. Until our next adventure, aloha and mahalo. I'm Chase Keali'i Maxwell. This is Chasing History Club, where we are sharing the aloha one story at a time. Hui ho. Until next time.
When she stopped to wiggle, they stopped to giggle.